Hello, thank you for expressing an interest in the WRI Nurse Assistant Training Program. My name is Melissa Gartman and I'm a specialist on the Workforce Development Team and the program lead for the NA Training Program at Cheshire Medical Center. In this video, I'm going to provide a program overview, discuss the role of an LNA, provide insight regarding career paths, and talk about what to do after you have watched this video. So, let's begin talking about the training program. The training program is broken into 3 different sections and consists of BLS training, classroom instruction, and skills and clinical training. Everything is held right here at Cheshire Medical Center. So, what does the training look like? The course is designed to provide you with the basic knowledge and skills needed to pass your state licensure exam and consists of classroom training, skills labs, and a clinical rotation. In the classroom, you will be expected to come to class each day prepared, meaning in the correct uniform and meeting dress code. You've completed any reading assignments and/or homework assignments and reviewed any skills associated with the units to be presented. In the skills lab, you'll be expected to be professional and participate in all the skills as a student LNA, participate as a patient, and maintain professional standards and boundaries. When you enter the classroom, the first 7 days will be your classroom and skills training. You'll go through medical terminology, anatomy and physiology, the art of caregiving, promoting safety, special care situations, and the transition from being a student to an employee. You'll also receive hands-on training in infection prevention, obtaining vital signs, safely moving and ambulating patients, providing nutrition, and much more. Active participation is necessary. This is the time to hone in on the skills you are learning with the hands-on patient care. As you can see here, you will train using mannequins, but you will also participate in the training playing the role of the patient. In the clinical area, you will be expected to participate as professional members of the healthcare team. You will provide care to real patients under the authority of your nurse clinical instructors. You will communicate between yourself and the healthcare team in charge of the patients. You will maintain confidentiality of the patient's information and care. Similar to your didactic and skills competencies, you will be required to have clinical skills signed off on to complete the program successfully. The New Hampshire State Competency exam will be taken at the end of your clinical training on the last day of class. In addition to that exam, you'll need to submit your application in order to be licensed by the state. Another great aspect of going through this program is that we will help you with that process as it can be cumbersome. We understand the requirements and how they need to be submitted, and will be here to support you along every step of the way. Throughout the program, it is expected that you put your best foot forward and present yourself in a professional manner, whether in the classroom or on the unit. The qualities and soft skills listed here, such as keeping good attendance, participating in classroom activities, being honest, and a team player, are expected within any work setting, and it will be good for you to start practicing them on your first day. In the classroom, you should hold yourself accountable to the same standards you would in any professional work setting. You're probably wondering how much this is going to cost you. You would come into the program as a Cheshire Medical Center sponsored student, meaning Cheshire will sponsor your tuition fees as long as you remain enrolled and in good academic standing. Additionally, upon successful completion of the program, Cheshire will also sponsor the initial fee of $200 for the New Hampshire State Competency exam. You are responsible for the fees associated with acquiring the New Hampshire Nurse Assistant's license, which, as you can see here, the application is $35 and background check is $48.25. There is a grant, which I will talk about in a bit, that can help reimburse you for some or all of these fees. Please note, if you had to retake the New Hampshire Competency exam, you would be responsible for covering any retake fees. Cheshire Medical Center will provide you with one set of navy blue scrubs, which is the color you will need to wear while in the program. These are also funded by the grant. Another portion of the cost to you would be towards the purchase of the rest of the uniform outlined here. This includes appropriate closed-toed shoes, watch with the second hand. Please note that digital and smartwatches are not permitted in the training portion. You are required to wear this uniform to all classroom and clinical training sessions. So, what's the catch? Well, the only clause we should discuss is that you will need to maintain employment for 1 year as a full-time LNA in the unit you are placed following the training program. This 1-year commitment is an excellent time for you to build your foundational knowledge, network, build an understanding around the role, the skills you hold, and come to understand what setting might work best for you. Following the 1-year commitment, you would be eligible to apply for a transfer from one unit to another. The set wage rate for new LNAs transferring out of the program is $18.25. I want to mention that we have an unlicensed role that you can go into while you are waiting to get into one of our LNA programs. There are many benefits to this role. It allows you to start with us as a full-time employee, collecting benefits and getting your feet wet. You will get comfortable on our units and working with patients. You will be paid $17 an hour while in this role and while you are in the training program. In regards to a schedule, when you become a full LNA or while you are a PSMT, you will be responsible to work either day or night shift. The shifts are either 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., which is the day shift, or 7 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., which is the night shift. We take into consideration employee preference on shift, but know that you will ultimately be placed where the need is. You work a 12-hour shift and are allotted 2 15-minute breaks and 1 30-minute lunch. You are required to work every other weekend, either a Saturday daytime, Sunday daytime, or a Friday night or Saturday night. One thing to keep in mind throughout all of this is that there is shift differentials. For weekends, you get an extra $2, evenings, an extra $1.60, and nights, an extra $5.50. As for holidays, there are some holidays you'll have to work. The patients still need attention and care even on holidays. The units do their best to determine the most fair and just way they can ensure that you work some, but not all. It depends on the unit you go to, so it is best that you discuss that with your unit. Each unit holds a safety huddle at the start of each shift, led by the off-going charge nurse. During the safety huddles, information about patient discharges, high-risk patients, family needs, safety updates, and more are shared. This is a warm handoff between shifts to ensure that the patients get the best possible care. During an LNA shift, they will be taking vital signs, monitoring patients' inputs and outputs. They could be assisting with patients' activities of daily living, such as brushing teeth, bed baths, repositioning, and feeding, assisting nurses and other LNAs, as well as cleaning rooms and stocking the med carts. As a key member of our team, we look to our staff to increase efficiencies on the units by maintaining supplies for staff and patients. This is a great place to learn and start to understand the nuts and bolts of nursing. There are many pathways and individual and financial support as long as you are an employee of Cheshire Medical Center. We provide the best access and opportunities possible to get you trained, working, and growing as a professional. Your career progression is important to us. There are many benefits to working at Cheshire Medical Center. As a nurse assistant trainee, you are a full-time employee and are eligible for all our benefits, including insurance, an FSA, and a fabulous 401k, just to name a few. Just by applying and interviewing for the Nurse Assistant Trainee Program, you will automatically be assessed for eligibility for available supports through the Rural Health Careers Program. This is a U.S. Department of Labor Employment and Training Administration grant program that supports the current healthcare workforce through growth opportunities and a focus on retention. Applicants may receive access to career healthcare, career pathfinding support and tools, braided supports such as money for transportation, adult education, rental assistance, and childcare, funding for incumbent worker scholarships entering into the critical healthcare careers, pre-employment supports such as resume review and interview practice. For more information, please reach out to Rural Health Careers at hitchcock.org. You may be asking yourself, what are the next steps? Once you have finished watching the informational video, the next step would be to apply to the program online. Then we will do a phone screen and set you up for an interview time. Once selected, you will be required to complete an assessment, attend a program enrollment, and schedule your pre-placement screening. If you are feeling confident this is the right path for you, you should start planning out your schedule accordingly. One of the initial emails you receive when selected is regarding your clinical background check and reference check. Should you have anything that comes up on your background check, you will need to disclose that information and have a discussion with us after we run the check. These include any misdemeanors or felonies. You may be required to provide additional information to support your application and when applying for your license. At your occupational medicine appointment, you will complete a required urine drug screen, do an immunization review, and health screening. You should start looking at your immunization records now, as it makes the process easier and more streamlined. If you think you need vaccines, don't do that on your own now. Our OCMED team will work with you on this. You should just work now on gathering your records and have a government-issued photo ID that is valid and current. Please also note that Cheshire requires all employees to have a COVID-19 vaccination as a condition of employment. This means that all employees will be required to submit documentation that they have been fully vaccinated or have obtained approved medical or religious exemptions or deferral. As with the COVID vaccination, the flu vaccine is also mandatory, and employees are able to submit requests for medical or religious exemptions. If you have any questions, we can connect you to our occupational health team, and they will be able to assist. We want you to be successful and grow while we support you on your journey. A few tips to aid you in successful interview and application. Submit a proofread and polished resume. Bring your best self. Share thoughtful examples. Remember your soft skills and the importance of body language. Show up on time. Have a positive attitude. Prepare answers to standard interview questions. Learn about the role and organization you are applying to. And please note that interviews will be held in person at Cheshire Medical Center. If you are interested in moving forward or have any questions, please email me. If you haven't already, please be sure to apply to the nurse trainee position on our website. I look forward to working with you and answering any questions you may have along the way.